My friends, we are diving into our weekly reading of Anubis, Ancient Egypt's Lord of Death and Protection by Charlie Lawson. And you guys know I love this book. So let's dive in. We are in chapter 3, Lord of Death and Transformation. And we are looking at death as transformation here, you guys. Let's stop here for a moment to ponder what exactly death means metaphorically. Everyone dies, right? Yes, but while the literal meaning of death is certainly relevant here, it is also limiting. Death is a transformational process, both literally and metaphorically. Consider the leaves on the trees in autumn, for example. As they change to brilliant shades of orange, red, and yellow, they slowly begin to wither and die. Eventually, they turn brown and fall to the ground. The trees appear to be dead, but they are merely dormant. As the fallen leaves decompose, they return to the soil, where they provide nutrients for other plants and trees that will help them grow and flourish. The following spring, the same trees sprout new leaves that are similar but different. In the same way, death is a process of releasing the old to embrace the new. When we shift our focus from the literal to the metaphorical, we find Anubis standing there, just between the shadow and the light. Death, like the turning of the seasons, is transformative, and transformation is what Anubis, as Lord of Death, embodies. By extension, his strong association with death also means that he is Lord of Transformation. Most statues and artistic representations portray him clothed in black with gold adornments. And it says, see page 17. So this is what they are talking about, but I wanted to give you guys a better representation because he's just kneeling in this statue, but it is literally the same. Okay. While this is definitely aesthetically pleasing, there's a reason he's portrayed this way. Symbolically, he stands on the liminal boundary between darkness and light, death and life. With his inner light, he leads the way out of the darkness and into the light. Anubis functions as a guide to lead us through the deaths we all experience throughout our lives. He aligns well with the tarot card of death because transformation lies at the heart of what he represents. He has a funny way of showing up when people need him, often in the most chaotic and difficult periods in life. I have sought him time after time to lead me through particularly difficult times in my life, calling out his name in the dark hours of the night when I have felt at my weakest. This doesn't mean that change won't happen, and it doesn't necessarily mean that things will get easier, but it does mean that if you ask for his assistance, it's possible that Anubis will be there to guide you and support you through these transformational periods. He can help you realize that you are strong enough to get through them. Metaphorically speaking, life is full of death, illness, trauma, job changes, moving, relationship problems, financial woes, unexpected tragedies, natural disasters, and more. Sometimes we cannot predict these metaphorical deaths or stop them from happening, and they can sometimes continue for some time, even a lifetime. The results of these experiences can vary. They may bring something better, something that was much needed, or they may have been meant to strengthen us. When the recent pandemic took hold of the world, I lost my job. The company I worked for at the time had to make difficult decisions to cut unnecessary jobs in order to save money and protect the company. I spent the next year out of work relying on unemployment benefits and state and federal aid to get by and for access to the health care that I needed. On top of that, health challenges arose and demanded much of my time, as well as money that I simply did not have. Finally, I found a job that afforded me stability and flexibility. But when I look back on who I was before this happened, I see changes in myself. I am much more resilient than I was, stronger. Was it horrible? Absolutely. Without a shadow of a doubt. Would I choose to go through it again? No. But the truth is that it was transformation, a death that changed part of who I am and how I navigate the world. Take a moment to think of who you were as a child. Think of all the things you like doing. Where did you play? What games did you like? What were your favorite toys? Who were your friends? Think of the kind of child you were. Were you shy, outgoing, a bit of a troublemaker, hyperactive? Now think of who you are now. How many of those things still hold true? Like, many of them have changed. Likely, many of them have changed. Of course, as adults, most of us do not play in the same sense that we did as children, but we do have hobbies and interests that we enjoy, a form of play, if you will. And the truth remains that we all change throughout our lives. Even from year to year as adults, our lives change drastically. And I'm willing to bet that you are a different person now than you used to be. This is transformation. This is a death of sorts. Part of you died, transformed, so that you could become the person you are now. As you continue your journey, exploring Anubis and building your relationship with him, you may actively seek help from him as Lord of Transformation. As great shaman, he can act as a guide during the shadow work that you may choose to undertake. In chapter 17, we will more closely look at how he can support you in this kind of work. All right, you guys. Now, next week, we will be diving into Master Healer and Chief Embalmer. And the author of this book also put in a prayer for transformation. So let's read that before we close out our session today. It's prayer for transformation. Hail to the Lord of Death, Obsidian Lord of Night, he who stands between worlds, Anubis, Lord of Death. Light in the dark, shroud me in your cloak, that I may emerge transformed. Hail Anubis, Lord of Death, Transformer. Teach me the meaning of transformation, that I may embrace its meaning and enhance my life. So, for anyone that is interested in that, there is that. And I will see you guys next week. As always, if you would like to talk about how awesome Anubis is, put it in the comments and we can talk, guys. All right, I love you.